Welcome to Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions retrospective series. In this series, I will be tasked with defeating every villain in order, progressing from the core set to the latest release. The catch? I'm only allowed to use cards released up until that point. After defeating the villain, they each will be ranked in terms of their difficulty, determined by the cards available at the time. Thematic matchups, crazy boost effects, and sinister encounter cards await. Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes of Marvel Rewind. What's going on, guys? It's Char here, back with another episode of Marvel Rewind, a Marvel Champions retrospective series. Now in this episode, we're finally getting into our first expansion box, the Rise of the Red Skull. So you know what that means? We got a new villain for this week. As always, the first villain of the box, we're taking on Crossbones with none other than the gamma-filled menace, the Hulk. Let's see how this matchup goes, and let's get down to the table. Okay, so here we are down at the table today. Now, we're taking on Crossbones with Hulk here. Now, the main reason I wanted to do that is that Crossbones, he can put a lot of damage on the board early, and I really want to try to utilize Hulk's 18 printed hit points as a sort of a resource here to kind of get rid of that early tempo of damage that Crossbones has going. That's kind of the thought process behind it. Let's go ahead and deal with this setup and whatnot right now. So we have his main scheme here, 1A, attack on Mount Athena. We create the experimental weapons deck and set it next to the main scheme deck. So we'll just flip that over and we'll go ahead and go over the experimental weapons deck. It is a retrospective series. So he has just a unique setup where these 4 experimental weapons, it's a modular set. They get set aside and then they get shuffled up. So we're just going to shuffle them up a couple times here. And then I think when his main scheme flips over, he reveals one. So we just reveal the top card of the experimental weapon deck. He just gets an attachment. Some of them take cards from your hand. Some of them give him more stats. One of them just gives him range, which is honestly the easiest one. But yeah, not a ton going on there. So we're just shuffling up a bit. And yeah, we'll do that. Well, we shouldn't have flipped it yet because we still have to do the contents of how to make his encounter deck. He has a ton of modular sets. It's such a huge encounter deck. So basically what it is, it's his Crossbone encounter set. Then there's 3 modular encounter sets. It's Hydra, Assault. It says Patrol on the card, but in the rulebook and in an official statement, it's incorrect printed here. It's supposed to be Hydra, Assault, Weapon Master, and Legions of Hydra. So those are the ones that go in there along with the standard and expert sets because we're on expert. Here's one. We've got, this is Hydra Assault, this is Legions of Hydra, and this is Weapon Masters. And then we have the standard and expert set here with our obligation. So we'll go ahead and just shuffle up this huge encounter deck. I mean, this it's just crazy. There's so many cards here. We're going to shuffle it up. And yeah, hopefully we don't get any of the bad ones. We're trying to avoid a lot of the Legion of Hydra's ones, in my opinion. Yeah, for Hulk, big thing here is utilizing his big HP set, and also Crossbones is kind of squishy, so a Hulk Smash does basically his entire health bar. He does have a couple cards that'll give him a tough, I'm pretty sure, but this is one of the few ones that I've actually played a couple practice games beforehand because I was kind of scared on how poor my initial impression of Hulk was, and they've gone pretty well, so hopefully we'll make it a one and done on here. Of course, for you guys, it'll always be a one and done, but this is the first recording when I'm doing the setup. So we flip his main scheme over and it says reveal the top card of the experimental weapon deck. So we'll go ahead and do that. But of course, we're going to cut to the play that we win. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this one up. So his one revealed says we search the counter deck, discard buffers, machine gun. We got that in play. He's got 2 counters. The one revealed on his main scheme says we flip the top card, the experimental weapons deck. So he gets the exosuit here. This gives him +1 to all his stats. And we're just going to go ahead and draw up here 5 cards, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we've got. Unstoppable Force, Mockingbird. I like Mockingbird for sure. Unstoppable Force, I don't mind. I'd rather get setup cards though. Let's just discard these 2 and let's draw up 2 more. Nick Fury and Thunderclap. Okay. That's that. All right, let's see what we can do here. So we definitely want to get the Nick Fury down. If we draw 3 more cards, we can for sure play Mockingbird. Let's go ahead and use our experimental research though. It's a concussive blast. I don't think it really matters. We'll get rid of the Thunderclap, but I think we're just playing double allies this turn, it looks like. Let's go ahead and flip up into Hulk. Let's go ahead and spend 3 resources for limitless strength, and then 1 for concussive blow for 4 to play Nick Fury. When he enters play, choose one or either remove. Oh, maybe we don't play Mockingbird. Maybe we just confuse him, so we can take advantage of all of this. But Mockingbird is so versatile. I think instead of discarding concussive blow, we'll do this one and see what we think. We're going to use his ability to draw 3 cards here. So 1, 2, and 3. Hulk smash. Yeah, I think we just do that instead, right? Hulk smash, and then we just have to discard the rest of these cards because we can't play them. Yeah, that's probably what we have to do. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, do we do that though? Yeah, I think we want to try and. Do we have any way to get? No, we have only a bunch of fist resources here, and that one takes a triple. But what we can do is maybe do it like this, and then see if the new attachment that comes in actually can be defeated by a lightning bolt and a physical resource. Yeah, that's probably the plan here. So like Hulk can't really play a lot of cards on his hero turn regardless, but we started with Nick Fury, which gives us a bit of tempo here. Go ahead and swing for 3 onto Crossbones, and then we're going to go and spend these 3 resources here to play a Hulk smash. It's a hero interrupt. When I make a basic attack, get +10 for that attack. And if we use only fist resources, it gets overkill. Doesn't really apply here. So he's going to go from 14 health down to 1. Then we're going to swing with 2 for Nick Fury. We're just going to immediately knock him into stage 3. What that does is that he reveals another card from the experimental weapon deck. This one takes lightning bolt and science, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. It would have been nice if it was one we could remove. And I think that's it for our turn. He comes in with 16 health. And I think we just ready up. We have to discard these 2 cards because of Enraged, one of the only hero abilities that actively harms you. So yeah, 4 cards here. Concussive blow, clear the area. These cards they look good. They look good. Okay. Main team's gonna go up by 1. Then what's gonna happen is he's gonna go ahead and attack us, but the Crossbones machine gun force interrupt goes off. When you would take remove 1 ammo cannon for this, discard the top card of the deck and take indirect damage equal to the amount of boost icons. So we have to take 1 indirect damage. Let's go ahead and put that on Nick Fury because he's gonna be blocking for us anyways. Crossbones is attacking us with a base of 4 here. We're gonna block with Nick Fury. 5 damage. Nick Fury is defeated. Then we get an encounter card to deal with. Crossbones Assault. When defeated, Crossbones activates against the player who defeated the scheme. Good thing for us. I don't think we're going to be worrying about that. Acceleration icon is going to be a bit scary, but... Oh no, but it does kind of feel bad because then he's going to instantly pop and then scheme for 3 more. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I don't know. I think we just have to concussive blow anyway. We're just trying to go for a quick win here. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's just swing for 3 onto him. Let's bring him down to 13 health. Let's just do a concussive blow here for 3. We're going to confuse him and then deal 3 damage because we used a fist resource. It's going to bring him down to 10. Let's just drop a confuse on him. He's going to get another weapon, but hopefully we can draw into a Hulk smash or something. Let's just do a lot of damage. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, that's going to be the end of our turn. We got a lot of things that help us out here. I mean, I don't hate this hand. It's not bad. So since there's a acceleration icon here, it's going to go up by 2. That's going to pop main scheme 1. The Infinity Stone's going to come in with 1 per player. And it reveals the top card of the not the Infinity Stone deck, the experimental weapon deck. So Gauntlets comes in. This one discards a card from our hand if he damages us. He's going to try and scheme here. He can't because he's confused. And then an encounter card, Hydra Flame Soldier. After he makes an undefended attack against you, discard a support you control. That's back to us. Okay. What do we want to do? Let's go ahead and use our... Oh, I should have used the experimental... Oh, no, it didn't matter. I didn't have any cards in my hand. Let's use the experimental research here. We're going to go ahead and draw a card. And let's see. Do we want this card in our hand? I think the answer is no. We're going to go ahead and discard it. We'll keep the rest of these in our hand. Okay, so what do I want to do here? I think we're just laying on the damage here. I feel like there's no other, like we don't have any other plays really. But man, we want to get the, no, I think we do have to attack the flame soldier if we want to make use of our helicarrier. Or maybe we just ignore it. Oh man, it's tough. It's tough. Okay. We're gonna flip up. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend 3 resources here for the helicarrier. It's gonna come out. Then we're gonna spend helicarrier and this double here to play Jessica Jones. And then, yeah, I think we just knock out the Flame Soldier, even though it doesn't really make a ton of sense to. We'll do 5 damage to the Flame Soldier. That's going to knock him out. Jessica Jones is going to take a consequential here, just so we can keep the helicarrier. We'll discard this, and then we'll just ready up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We do have a Hulk smash here, so if everything goes correctly, no guard minions, it should be the end of the game. But let's see. Crossbones is going to go ahead and add 2 to the main because of the acceleration icon. Let's go up to 3. He's going to attack us. First things first, it's going to be an interrupt here. So he's going to discard the top card of the encounter deck. Take damage equal to the boost icons. There was none. It's a star. So then his machine gun is discarded here. Then he's going to keep attacking us for raise of 3, 4 damage. I think just take this. I don't think the retaliate has come up yet because we didn't actually attack him that turn. He's base of 4. I think we can take this. Nothing. So just 4 damage here. But we do have to trigger this forced response. After the attached villain attacks and damages you, discard a card from your hand. Let's just do Banner's Laboratory. Then we're going to go ahead and get an encounter card here. Caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So we get rid of our helicarrier, so we can no longer play the Hulk smash, which is rough. But I think we're still okay. Because we can keep it in hand and flip down, and there's no way that he can scheme out unless he gets a double advance, which I think we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and spend a crushing blow here. You can only use fist resources to pay for it. We're gonna use Daredevil. We're gonna deal damage to an enemy equal to our attack, but it is an attack, so we're gonna take a retaliate from energy shield here. So yeah, we're gonna deal 3 damage to him. That's gonna bring him down to 7. Then what's gonna happen? We're gonna go ahead and swing on him for 3 more. 1, 2, 3. It's gonna bring him down to 4. We'll have Jessica Jones thwart for 2 off of the main. Let's bring it down to 1. And she's gonna take a consequential. She gets an extra thwart because there's a side scheme out. And I think we're just gonna flip down here, keep the Hulk smash in hand, and draw up 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now we're really hoping no guard minion, but of course, this game does like to troll. All right, let's see what we can do. It's gonna go up to 3 because of the acceleration icon. He's gonna go ahead and scheme against us for a base of 3, 4. It's gonna go ahead and pop. It's gonna go to the getaway. We're hoping no advance here. It's gonna go 1 per player. That's what it starts with, and he reveals the last card. The experimental weapon deck. A guard or an advance screws us over here. Let's see. Legions of Hydra. 1 revealed. The Phantom of Hydra is not in play. Search the encounter deck and discard pile. Put her into play, engage with you. Shuffle the encounter deck and place 2 additional threat here for each Hydra enemy in play. So that does look like the end of the game, which is very nice. We're able to kind of just rush him down. That was kind of the idea when I picked Hulk for this. I know, you know, the full auto is an extremely scary card, especially right now if he got it off. But I thought that Hulk would have the health pool to just kind of take advantage of Crossbones just only wanting to deal damage. 18 health is so much to get through. And the cards kind of lined up for us right in this game. This is not the first attempt, I'll be honest with you. Like I said in the intro, I did some practice attempts last night. It was 2 wins in a row. Then first 2 recordings today did not go very well. So I was like, was it just a fluke? But no, this is sort of how the games went last night when I was playing him. Honestly, it felt like easy. It felt like I was getting unlucky in the 2 early recordings, but maybe you'll see him as a part of this video because might not be super long, but we'll see. We'll shuffle that up. Madam Hydra comes in. She can't take damage while the Legions of Hydra side scheme is in play. I was going to do something funny like try and overkill her, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. This gets 2 extra threat for every Hydra enemy in play. So Crossbones is Hydra, she's Hydra. So it's going to go up to what? 5 and then 6. It's going to go up to 7. Okay, yeah, we're definitely not dealing with that. There's no guard on the board. It's only retaliate and things like that. So cool. Let's go ahead and use our ability though. Let's draw a card, see if we can get some overkill going. Avengers Mansion, sure, why not? Let's get rid of Surveillance Team. We're not playing it anyways. Okay, now we're gonna flip up here to Hulk, and it's not anything more crazy than we're just gonna swing, spend these 3 resources. Yeah, sure. Guess we should have kept the Surveillance Team. Let's do that. Slight cheat here at the end, and let's put the Surveillance Team in play. Why not? 3 Snoop counters. We could get rid of some threat if we wanted to. Then we're just gonna, we're gonna go ahead and go back to this. We're swinging for 3. We're gonna spend these 3 resources here. We're gonna do a Hulk smash. You make a basic attack, get +10. If you use only fist resource, it gets overkill. We're attacking Crossbones directly. It's gonna be 13 damage into his 4 health, and that is Crossbone defeated for Marvel Rewind. Ton of fun. It was a bit more difficult than I thought it was after doing some practice games. I'm like, Hulk's got this. He just ignores all the weapons. The extra damage doesn't matter, but he was giving me a bit of a challenge. But let's go ahead and check out the deck list right now. Okay, so I know it's supposed to be a deck list, but I apologize in advance if this turns into kind of like a hating the Hulk hero kind of segment. I'm going to be honest, if playing it in the Rewind series completely changed my opinion on Miss Marvel last week, this one completely cemented my opinion on Hulk this week. But of me just not liking him very much, I don't think he's very functional at all. But I think I picked a scenario where his strength, which is abusing his high HP, and a scenario that doesn't exhaust him or anything, and being able to, get damage off of his big attack stat, get a ready, get some draws. I think that this scenario really showed off how utilizing his big HP as sort of like a meat shield, and then also Crossbones having lower health, lets him, really stall out the game, get out a couple upgrades so he can hit those big Hulk smashes and really close out games really fast, which I think is something Hulk is very good at. And, this is still an expert villain. Of course, he has low hit points, but it's still a harder experience than playing on standard, which he should get some credit for. So when we look at the deck list here, we have his 15 specific hero cards. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of basically any of these cards other than Hulk Smash. It's very good. Unstoppable Force isn't terrible, but a 2-cost Radiant hero with a 4 hand size with no sort of resource supports is just really rough. Suborbital Leaf and Thunderclap, they're just not even worth talking about. Banner's Laboratory I do like, but why is this only an alter ego resource? I don't even think Hulk goes crazy. If he had a 1 resource generator, I think he might be a lot more playable. It's not even like it's a a punch resource anyways, a fist resource, so it's not like it really goes crazy. But I do like Immovable Object. I think it's a bit, it's not like overpriced for what it does. It gives you 4 health and retaliate, which is nice, but again, it's like when Hulk is only playing 1 card a turn, it is so rough. It is so rough to actually having to manage choosing to spend 3 cost on gaining 4 health and retaliate versus like a Hulk smash that's in hand. Like, it's really hard to make that choice. Let's go ahead and look at our resources here. So we had 3 of the basic doubles and 2 of the justice doubles. Like I said, for most of these early deck lists, this is going to be pretty standard, just depending on the aspect we play. Hulk needs all the economy help that he can get. No resource generators or anything like that. So I will say, though, that the limitless strength resource he has in his hero kit is good. He has 2 of them. The triple resource is good. It sucks you can only play it in hero form, and of course you can't hold on to cards in hero form because he makes you discard them all. Let's go to the ally lineup real quick. It's the same kind of deal as I think Miss Marvel, just the 3 basic allies. I'm putting in Lockjaw just in case I had nothing better to play in my hand. And then since he's not a card in your hand and Hulk's 4 hand size, you can actually play it from the discard if he has nothing better to do. And then, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, just the 2 Justice allies. Honestly, I think that, when you're playing in solo, Justice is an easy go-to because it helps you not lose instantly to the main scheme. But I think some of the Justice cards work pretty well for Hulk with his limited economy and what he can do. For looking at the basic supports and upgrades, you got Endurance, Helicarrier, Avengers Mansion. I'm still sticking tried and true. One of each of these. I don't want to draw into doubles, and it hasn't bit me in the butt yet. For our upgrades and supports for Justice, we're just on triple Surveillance Team. there's no big reason other than like if we're flipping down, maybe the one ping stops the main scheme from flipping over. That's another reason why we pick Crossbones. 3 main schemes means that Hulk can flip down because he can't thwart at all. So you need a lot of main schemes to get through. And as long as we have a little bit of help with like surveillance team and clear the area and stuff like that, and it doesn't pop in phase 1 of the villain phase, he's got a couple of flips he can get. Barring any advances where he can actually, get a better hand size and maybe fix his hand and do some things like that. And then we're going to finish it off with the events, the Justice event. So we're on triple clear the area. I think this is really underrated, or not underrated. This card is obviously bonkers in solo, but it's really good for Hulk. He doesn't have any resources to actually play cards with. A 1 cost removing 2 threat. It's just really good for him. He can get a card draw off of it if it's off the main. It's not bad for Justice when you need kind of like that bigger bump to your thwarting. And then concussive blow is it has some good synergy with Hulk. If you think he has a 4 hand size, if you draw this and then 3 other dead cards, which no offense, try not to be as negative, but most of the Hulk hero kit cards are. If you draw this, I mean, it makes your hand playable. You just spend all of them. Hopefully, almost all of them have punch resources, so you get the 3 damage and a confuse. So that you flip down and actually, get a 5 hand size and maybe do something with your next turn. But yeah, that was the deck list for this week. I had fun playing it in the practice games. The recordings were a bit rough at the beginning, but we did eventually get that win. Let's go ahead and see where Crossbone, let's see where he stacks up with the rest of the villains in this game. I'll see you there. Crossbones. Where do we start with this villain in the game? I'm going to be honest, a lot of the practice games, like I said before, that I played with Hulk, it was really easy to burst down Crossbones because Hulk has a really easy access to a rush strategy, barring things go a certain way. A couple of those early games I was playing, he got those Hydra guard minions. I forgot what it's called, the one that has guard and gives an encounter card. Those give rush strategies a really hard time, and I'm glad they're included in his encounter deck because of how low his hit points are. Crossbones is really interesting because he really plays off this experimental weapon deck, the Weapon Master recommended modular set, and he starts on expert with his machine gun. If you flip up on hero mode and you're not prepared for the amount of damage that he can put out, you will almost certainly, not certainly, but you will get very close to just absolutely getting demolished in 1 turn. Let's say his machine gun flips with like a double or triple boost and he attacks you with 2, depending on the experimental weapon, 3 base attack into another double boost. You're looking at 7 damage on turn 1. He's really scary for sure, and he can do a ton of damage. He has one of the scariest encounter cards in the game if you just ignore his weapon attachments, which I feel like it depends on the type of deck you're playing. If you're rushing him, you just ignore every attachment because in all honesty, none of them are really that bad. None of them are really too bad in my opinion. But if you're going for a longer drawn out game, you'll obviously get rid of them. Full auto, and he has other activations in the deck. I think full auto is the one where based on his base attack, he mills that amount of cards from the deck, and you take that as indirect damage. That is extremely scary, especially because he has that Legions of Hydra modular set in with a lot of high boost number count. I think both of the previous games I lost before the one that was actually in the video was 2 to full auto and him just milling like 4 or 5 cards because I was obviously ignoring the attachments, and he just got so much damage off of 1 encounter card and it just absolutely destroyed me. So that's a really scary encounter card in his deck. He also gets extra activations, and he has a lot of them where it's an activation that also surges when he has a weapon. So again, some of his weapons aren't too bad, and you might be focusing on building out or whatnot. Maybe you flip up, you don't get rid of the weapon. And it's like, okay, I take the full auto damage, maybe it's like 1 or 2. I take his normal attack, okay. And then he does, he flips his extra activation, I forget the name right now, that, he's going to attack you again. He's going to get the machine gun proc 1 more time because it comes in with 2 counters. He's going to also attack you, and then it's going to surge afterwards. I think it's really scary, and sort of in a similar way as Rhino, where just if you're not prepared on the hero side, he can have really big swingy turns that are honestly really scary. And yeah, it's not something that you can actually always plan around. Of course, you always want to get rid of his weapon, sure, but it's not always feasible. And then if these surge into another activation that also surges, it can get really scary pretty fast. But one of the major downsides that makes him a bit different from Rhino, although I think he has a similar explosiveness, I guess it's more, it comes out of nowhere when you're fighting Crossbones, because Rhino, you see he puts the charge on and then he's going to charge you the next turn. This one, it kind of comes out with the full auto. It comes out with this extra activation. So it's kind of like out of nowhere. So if you're not preparing, you can just lose games like that. So it's a bit more unpredictable than Rhino. But on the other end, another reason why Rhino is more difficult, why Rhino can be argued to be more difficult is that he only has one main scheme, and it has a 7 threat threshold, which in solo is extremely punishing, and it's really easy for you to lose. On the other hand, Crossbones gives you a lot of breathing room, in my opinion. He has 3 main schemes, and when they flip over, all they do is give him another experimental weapon. Like, of course, if he has all 4 of the experimental weapons plus another attachment on the board, okay, he's very scary, and you should probably be dealing with those. But it just gives you a lot of leeway to just flip down. It's like, okay, the main scheme's gonna go up by 1. He's gonna scheme a million over. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna flip down. I'm gonna take advantage of the extra hand sides. I'm gonna flip up, maybe get rid of some of his attachments, take advantage of my alter ego ability, things like that. He doesn't put a lot of pressure on the alter ego side, in my opinion, which I think makes him like a bit easier than I think. But I don't know. I think his 2 major weaknesses, I had to point him out, was the fact that 3 main schemes make it really easy for you to flip versus him, so you can heal up, you can take advantage of extra card hand size, extra alter ego abilities, and also he has very low hit points. It's like Rhino level. I think it's maybe even a little lower on expert, and his second stage is 14, and then his in stage 3 is 16. He is super easy to rush down, even on expert mode, which is usually not the case for a lot of villains in this game. With all these factors considered, I'm not really sure where I think Crossbow ends up. I think he's a good challenge, right? He can be a good challenge if the cards go his way, and if you flip up immediately on hero phase and you're not prepared for it. But I also think he's another hero where you really shouldn't lose most games to him, barring some crazy luck. All things considered, I did a lot of comparisons for him to Rhino. I think he's still in the same tier of difficulty. Maybe between C and D tier. I always say between in these ones. Maybe he's D tier. I'll put him underneath Rhino for now. I think he's fun. I think his gimmick is cool, and I think his recommended modular set is extremely punishing if you hit some of those Legion of Hydra cards, which luckily I avoided in most of my playthroughs. But yeah, that's where Crossbones is going to end up. Let me know if you agree or disagree, if you've been doing this series yourself. What hero did you use to take on Crossbones this week? Let me know, a fun match if you had any fun experience you had in the game. And yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. We have these coming every week. Next week we're doing Absorbing Man. It's another bit of an infamous villain, so that should be a lot of fun. Take care of yourselves. Take it easy. Have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.